Shalom, Chaim the Galilean here. It is sunset in the Galilee. Aliyah and Integration Minister Ofer Sofer has announced last week that he is closely following the events in Amhara in Ethiopia, where several thousands of Jewish people are trying to make Aliyah. They want to come home. They want their chance to make Aliyah to Israel. And the region has seen clashes between the Fano militia, stoking fears of like a wider conflict that could destabilize the entire country. And there's also concerns about civil war with neighboring Sudan. Meanwhile, in North America, a report was issued recently by Statistics in Canada showing that Jewish people are the most targeted group for religiously inspired crimes, accounting for 67% of such crimes, despite only being around 1% of the Canadian population. So the Canadian report talks about hate crimes being on a sharp increase, and Canadian Jewish people should beware. However, all the news is not from North America, and it's not all bad. God has big plans for them here. These people might feel destitute, but they're not destitute in God's eyes. Do you know that Ethiopia is the only country that has never been conquered, never been colonized? Now, we're here in order to bless them and to show them that God is faithful to His word, to keep it, and to bring them home, as it says in Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And you know what else? In Isaiah chapter 49, verse 22, it talks about a time where God will raise up a sign for the nations, and they will carry them in their arms and on their shoulders. That's Isaiah 49 and verse 22. So a story in the Jerusalem Post that we saw about a young American Jewish person named Benny Gustafson, who joined the crew of MDA Ambulance after visiting Israel as part of a tour sponsored by the Taglit Birthright Program. Is one of many private initiatives which assists young Jewish people from the diaspora to connect with Israel. And many stories start with one of their tours and end in them making Aliyah. So that, of course, is Aliyah being a process that starts at the start of discovering Israel, finding out the truth of the Bible, reading the prophecies, and then suddenly learning to read Hebrew and learning to integrate. And that's a major step. So last Sunday, a new agreement was signed to increase wages of Hebrew language teachers, signed by the Treasury, Education, and Aliyah Ministries, as well as the Teachers Union, with Secretary Yafa Ben David. She says, "Today we have achieved the signing of a wage agreement for the Teachers Union, which will adjust and increase the wages and working conditions of Hebrew instruction Ulpan employees under a New Horizon reform." So Yoav Kish says, "This agreement is a significant and long-awaited development that we've been tirelessly working on to bring to fruition, and we will duly reward you, the teachers who work dedicated to passing on this ancient and modern language, Hebrew. And these new immigrants' lives are changed when they learn it. Like at the Aliyah Return Center, I know that we're so excited when we get to crank out another group. We help about 70 at once to learn Hebrew. And so this is a huge part, a huge thing that's happening here. Home Biogas, and it is a pioneering company that develops innovative technology for treating organic waste and producing renewable energy. That's what Dror Bin, the CEO of the Israel Innovation Authority for Home Biogas System, represents. And there's a promising solution here, combating the climate crisis, addressing a pressing need in extensive mass catering industry. So what does all this mean? Well, the physical safety and security of Jewish people around the world, like Ethiopia, for example, is a fragile issue. And the same issues and violence that we see are also faced around the world. And discrimination that's faced by Jewish communities is seen even in places like Canada, where few people believe would ever be possible that I could even say this. Young Jewish people coming to Israel from around the world really awakens their hunger to reconnect with their ancestral promise, the promised land, and their historic homeland. And their conclusion is, let's make Aliyah. And that's where we come in as the Aliyah Return Center. The Israeli government is doing all it can to keep up with the steady stream of new immigrants, making Aliyah, raising salaries for Hebrew-speaking teachers who can step in the gap, and also building infrastructure at the IDF bases to improve the quality of life, save money, become more efficient. But the need for private initiatives that can fill the gap, fill these small niches that the government just can't do, it has never been greater. And the Aliyah Return Center is not the only one, but it's a great part of what we're doing. And we do our part. So we already renovated several older buildings in our Galilee campus, and we're doing a new one now called the Lighthouse, the headquarters, where hundreds of new immigrants have been able to be helped, and many more will be able to be helped, thousands more in the future, as we believe a Russian Aliyah is at hand. And our vision, our plans, our goals are to make this vision a great reality. And will you join us? Will you become a financial partner with us today? Thank you for standing with us for the future of Israel.
God bless Israel. God bless the Aliyah Return Center.
So much for joining us. We look forward to keeping you posted as to the latest developments that relate to Aliyah and return and restoration. God bless you from the land of Israel.